All right, thank you, Felix. A man is in critical condition tonight after a violent attack at an apartment in South Wichita. Around 3:45 this afternoon, the victim was taken by private vehicle to the ER at Via Christi St. Joseph. The man, described by police as in his late 20s or early 30s, was then taken to St. Francis. At the time, police said they didn't know whether the man had been stabbed or shot. They did take 2 men in for questioning in the case.
They're being detained based on the evidence that we observed on these 2 individuals. I believe they know something. They're not being real cooperative, so we went ahead and detained them. And they're going to go up to the city building and talk with the detectives to find out what they know.
Police later went to investigate at the Riverwalk Apartments in the 2600 block of South Topeka. They believe that's where the victim was attacked. Now, if you have any information on the case, call police. Let's turn to weather now. Usually by this point in the summer, we're sick of triple-digit heat, but rain showers are really giving us a break. J.D. Rudd's here with a look at how long this will last. J.D.?
This might have been it today, Stephanie, the last day of the break from the triples and getting the nice needed rain in the middle part of July. We had a few showers earlier this evening. Those have quickly gone away in about the last hour or so. Closer look into south central Kansas. You can see we had some nice showers around Kingman, Pratt, Medicine Lodge at around 8:30, 9 o'clock, but they're long gone now. A few lingering, dissipating showers between Cimarron and Garden City. Those are quickly coming to an end, and I think overnight tonight it'll be dry for most of us. Outside, it's not terrible. It's currently 79 in Wichita. However, it feels more like 82 when you factor in that dew point of 70 degrees. Tomorrow, we'll tack on a couple more degrees to the high temperature, looking for low 90s tomorrow. Not too much in the way of rain. The weekend, though, could bring some change. We'll talk about it coming up.
All right, we'll check back. Thanks, J.D. As Wichita city leaders debate whether to allow oil companies to drill in downtown Wichita, some other cities have already taken that step. Tonight, KSN's Craig Andrews heads south to find out if pumping crude for cash is worth the payoff.
Right under the feet of Riverfest revelers, there could be black gold, oil. 2 different companies want to drill for oil under Century 2. But there remain questions.
But they aren't going to go in next door to a stinky oil well, and there won't be a bike path.
Karen Cravens is president of the Delano Neighborhood Association and says the drilling under Century 2 would be horizontal and have a potential pump go here on this green space in Delano.
We knew it came around about 15 months ago, and we didn't really take it seriously. We didn't think it would go anywhere, and all of a sudden we have a zoning change request.
City leaders with Wichita say they are considering the idea.
I'm willing to keep an open mind to look at any sources of revenue that might be beneficial to the city.
But Wichita's City Councilwoman Janet Miller says she's not ready to sign on the dotted line. Not yet. She wonders what it would look like, and would there be environmental concerns.
I also have some questions about potential odors and noises. I'd like to know of other communities that have done this kind of drilling in their downtowns.
KSN asked Oklahoma City leaders. They have oil wells like this. In fact, the state capitol there has a couple of working oil wells right on the front lawn. It's part of the culture there, oil and Oklahoma. And it's profitable. In 2011-12, the city got nearly $1 million from those oil wells. But would it work here in Wichita, downtown? Potential oil drillers say the oil operation could be fairly well hidden. Still others have questions. City council members say they have not seen an environmental impact study to see what it would look like to have oil drilling and pumping downtown. And while at least 2 city council members say they're not opposed to the idea, they say they need a lot more information before they could make a decision. Steph?
All right, keep us updated. Thanks, Craig. For the first time, some residents of Southlake Village Apartments are getting to see the damage caused by that 32-hour standoff between Jared Wusapetti and police last week. In at least 4 apartments, mold has taken over after police used a water cannon trying to flush the suspect out. Pictures also reveal bullet holes and sheetrock busted out. Now some tenants are wondering who will pay for it all.
Instead of putting renter's insurance on our property, they put rental car insurance instead of our insurance. So they're trying to say they're not going to cover nothing for us. So we're another thing, we're out of luck there.
City officials say residents whose apartments were damaged by police can file a claim with the city if their own insurance denies the claim. And the owner of Southlake Village Apartments tells us donations are being taken to help the families affected. We now know the name of the little girl who died after a fire last week. She and her sisters were left home alone Thursday night in the 3900 block of East Countryside. The 6-year-old was Jakara Tiloria LaShawn Dixon. Investigators say she was playing with a lighter when she caught her clothes on fire, then a bedroom. Police are still investigating whether her mother should face criminal charges. Now to our continuing coverage of a massive train derailment. Cleanup continues after the crash and fire that happened in Hayes around 1:30 Tuesday morning. Union Pacific had more than 100 representatives and contractors on the scene today working to clear the wreckage. The Union Pacific train was headed to Denver when it collided with a parked train in Hayes, then jumped the tracks. Coincidentally, fire crews had just discussed last week what to do if a train accident ever occurred.
An incident like we had, the preparedness comes by looking at what happens in other jurisdictions and saying, how would we handle that if this happened in ours?
Railroad officials expect the cleanup to take at least 2 weeks. Topping news across America tonight, people in Boston are upset that the latest issue of Rolling Stone magazine features the accused bomber right on the cover, and many believe it makes Dzhokhar Tsarnaev look like a celebrity. The story promises to deliver an account of, quote, how a charming kid with a bright future became a monster. Still, the CVS pharmacy has refused to sell the magazine. Ariel Castro pleaded not guilty today to more than 600 new charges against him. The 53-year-old is accused of kidnapping 3 women and holding them captive in his Cleveland home for years. He now faces a total of 977 charges and is being held on an $8 million bond. Still to come here at 10, we've got what's making news where you live. The story of a serial-killing Kansas family is coming to the big screen, and some local kids are in the cast. Plus, why you may think about getting a library card instead of downloading from iTunes, coming up.
You're watching KSN News at 10. News at